Y'all, it's your girl Tabby Tabs to BB. Whatever you want to call me, it's totally fine with me, right? So I wanted to give you a little bit of an update. You may or may not have noticed that I've changed the name of the channel from Love Keeping Tabs to Tabs Testament, and I'll explain why. So I love the name Love Keeping Tabs. I used to have that as a username for my Instagram not too long ago, and I deleted Instagram. I deleted Facebook. If you know me, I'm sure like people in my real life are like sick of me at this point because I don't add and deleted. I appear, I disappear, right? I'm sure they're sick and tired of me, right? But that's okay. So I do love the name Love Keeping Tabs because like you're keeping tabs on me and my life, etc., etc. And if you know me as well, you also know that I love words and I have a gift of words, right? And I love a good wordplay. I really do. But I changed it because this chapter of my life is a time for me to proclaim my testimony. It's a time for me to testify of the good things that the Lord has done, right? And you may not know or you may not understand, but as you get to know me and you get to understand my story and my testimony, you will see why the Lord means so much to me. I wasn't always a firm believer. I wasn't always a firm Christian. I was someone who had been betrayed by those who came and proclaimed themselves to be in the name of God, right? So I developed a resentment for God. I developed a mistrust of God, but it wasn't God that I mistrusted or resented. It was the people who acted hypocritically while proclaiming themselves to be of Him. Okay? So I turned my back against God, and it led me into some dark times. It led me into the wilderness. But when He took me out, when He brought me back to the other side, hey, let me tell you something. When God does something, He will do it in a way that you know that it is Him, that it is undeniable that it is Him. Let me tell you, oh my gosh, it was so, and like, I changed it because God has done so much for me. And He showed Himself to me not because He had to, but because He wanted to. And I may not know what God looks like, but I sure know what He feels like, okay? I have encountered God inadvertently through my path. The woman you see before you, it has not always been the woman that I've been, okay? I didn't go looking for God. I didn't ask for God to transform me. I didn't ask Him to take certain qualities away from Him. I had no idea that He would develop me in a way that He has, that He would discipline me in a way that He has. But in the last few years of my life, it's really a testimony to the fact that I am the clay and He is the potter, right? Because this new creature, this ornament that God has made and placed before you, hey, Yaka, it's a good thing that we do not look like what we've been through. Because if I did, you would not recognize me. You would not be able to reconcile the image of who you see today to the image of who I once was, even a few years ago, right? And in order to understand me, in order to understand what God means to me, you would have to see it, you would have to hear it, right? So everything from my chapter, from this channel going forward, whether it's time I spend with my daughter, whether it's the current healthy relationship I'm in now, whether it's the healthy relationships I'm developing with others, all right? All of that came through my walk with God, okay? Just a few years ago, when I tell you in the entirety of my life, I have cried, I have wept, I have cried out to God in agony and in earnest. So many times. Wow. And today, He has filled my tongue with laughter to the point where I cannot remember what the salt of my tears tastes like. He has taken me from a season of mourning to a season of laughter. From a season of bended knees to a season of upright dancing. Oh, child. When I tell you He has taken me from a season of reaping to a season of sowing to a season of harvesting. And so I don't ever want to get so caught up in the stage that I am now, because I know there will be times that people meet me and they meet this version of me and they become to know me as this version of me, but I was not here all along. I'm here now. But this was a journey, that in times I walked with God and God alone, even when I did not acknowledge his presence. I always had his perseverance, right? So I changed the name of the title as a reminder to myself of where God has brought me from, as a reminder to the person I am now and the person that I will become in the future, being a result of him and his discipline and his upbringing. And his blessings and his grace and his mercy, because he didn't have to do that for me. He chose me and he loves me, and he loves me, and he has given me another opportunity, right? So why will I not give him the grace and the glory? You know, it's like when someone does something good or they put you on, you give them a shout out when you can, right? So I'm gonna keep shouting out to God, whether I'm doing public speaking, whether I'm doing a video, because again, if you know me in my personal life, most times I don't even intend to talk about God, but he just ends up coming up because he's such an important part of my life. He's such an important part of my identity. And that's not because of what I learned in church. That's not because my mother taught me. Because there is a song, I think it's a Nigerian song, that talks about, I came here for myself. It's Nigerian or Liberian. It's an African hymn, right? It talks about, I came here for myself. Meaning, I came here by myself. No one brought me to you. I came here by myself. A relationship with God is not something that we can inherit from our parents. We may learn the functions and the impersonations, right? That's why so many people who are born Christian, so every now and then, or so often, more than likely, they will walk off the path, right? Because God is something that no one can give to you, no one can teach you. You can know the rules and regulations, right? But a relationship with God is something that is developed intimately and between you and him. So when you see people who have a passion for God, who have a conviction for God, people who speak with God like they know him personally, it's because we do. We done been through some things. My G has brought me through some things. He's brought me through deserts, storms. You feel me? Like, you have no idea what some of us have gone through, right? But it's also the reason that our passion is so strong. The reason why we burn, why we're literally on fire with the Holy Spirit. Because we know where God has brought us from. We know the things that we have gone through. We know what it took to get here. And how much he has fought for our souls. And how long and how persistent and consistent he was until we acknowledged him. Right? And it's something that you have to go through to understand. Honest to God, it's something that you have to go through. And it's not a pleasant experience. It's not a pleasant experience because sometimes you're in such a rebellious state in your life and you turned your back from God that something has to happen to bring you back, right? And a lot of times we don't come willingly. I didn't just give my life to Christ. I didn't just, hey, I want to be a Christian now. No, I literally, everything I loved, everything I depended on, everything that was once my foundation was stripped away from me. I had nothing but to surrender myself to God because he was the only one. Oh my gosh, you see me? I'm normally such a positive person, but I'm telling you that something happened to me pretty recently, 3 years ago. It's still fresh. I'm still recovering, right? But I was surrounded by so much darkness that as optimistic and positive as I always am, in that time, I could not see the light at the end of the tunnel. I could not see the silver lining. There were so many nights where I cried myself to sleep. The only peace I could find was listening to gospel music until I fell asleep. My mind was screaming to me. My subconscious was tortured by the memories of my suffering. What? When I could not even, as confident as you see me now, I could not even walk with my head held high. It felt as if everywhere I went, I hung my head in shame, in pain, in distress, in agony. Oh, yaka. Nandi oh. Hey, and I remember those days as if it was yesterday. Lord, when I could not remember life being better or things ever turning around, but there is a song by Nathaniel Bassey that says, what the enemy meant for evil, God has turned it around for my good. And in Jesus' name, that's what he has done. That's what he has done. So whether you see me doing gym videos, or you see me cooking with my daughter, or you see me someday married, or you see some more babies, I want 6, y'all. I want 6. I want 6 kids. I want 6 kids. I want a big family, right? So when you see all these things come to pass and come to fruition, and you see the physical manifestation of the work that has begun in the spiritual, that has begun behind closed doors, that has begun in the secret place when it was just me and God, when you start to see those things happen before your eyes, I want you to remember that it is God that brought me here. I did not get here on my own. And I want that to be a reminder for myself. Because there will be days where there are so many good days that you forget about the bad. There will be so much sunshine that you forgot about the rain, right? But I don't ever want to get so lost. I don't ever want to be so seduced by the attention, seduced by the affluency of life, that I forget who gave these things to me, that I forget who blessed me, that I forget who molded me into this vessel through which others are seeing him. So yeah, I want to give God the glory now and forevermore. You ain't got to like it, you ain't got to love it, but I do love him, and I know he loves me because of all that he has done for me, right? So that's all. I just wanted to give you a quick background. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the family. And I hope we continue this journey together. Thank you for your time.